Welcome back. Bradenton police are investigating that double shooting tonight that sent a 19-year-old man and a 12-year-old boy to the hospital.
Police were called to a home on 6th Avenue East in Bradenton around noon to find two male victims. A 12-year-old boy was shot in his lower body. A 19-year-old man had been shot in his head and upper body. During the investigation, police say the victim's stepfather, Joshua Rapola, identified himself as the shooter. Investigators say there was an argument and Rapola fired shots directed toward the 19-year-old. Rapola says he did not intend to shoot the 12-year-old. Both victims are being treated at area hospitals. Police are still investigating the shooting.
A historic brick road in a downtown Sarasota neighborhood is deteriorating.
Neighbors say it hasn't been paved since it was built in the 1920s, and now it's time for a fix before it gets even worse. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick is joining us live from Hawkins Court in Laurel Park with more on this story tonight. Jess.
Good evening, Haley and Scott. This is the century-old Hawkins Court behind me. I'm going to take a step aside so that you can take a look. You can see there are divots in the street. There are places where the brick is pushed up. And when you're driving down the road, it's not easy to avoid those areas because, as you can see, the street's not very wide to begin with. It's a drive down Hawkins Court, and it's a bumpy one. Some of the bricks are breaking apart, others are completely gone. Residents say about 20 years ago, a cable company came in, dug up a portion of the street, and filled it in with asphalt. In some areas, the company only left dirt. Hawkins Court neighbors want the street to be fixed and not just paved over. They want to keep the historic charm. But brick, it isn't cheap. Bob Wernick lives on Hawkins Court. He says Laurel Park Neighborhood Association has talked to the city's Public Works Department. They propose that the neighbors fix the street if the city provides the brick to save the city a little bit of money. But the length of the road, Wernick says the city is concerned about, and how long it would take and how long that road would be closed when they'd make the repairs. So now, instead, the Neighborhood Association has asked the City Commission for some extra funding in the coming budget to fix the street.
I think basically they're supportive, but they're also, their hands are tied a little bit. They're trying to find money in the budget for a lot of things. They're very supportive of the brick streets and the historic aspect of it, and we'll keep working and with them and see if we can't get it in this budget or the next one.
There is an area of Hawkins Court. It's on the other side of those homes that you can see behind me. That isn't brick, and that's the way it'll stay when this road is fixed. It will stay asphalt. And there was another street in this neighborhood, Rawl Street, that's also brick, and that was repaired a few years ago. So residents are hoping that this street is next. Reporting live in Laurel Park, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. After being accused of violating federal and state law, the Bradenton Housing Authority is dropping its no weapons policy for residents. According to the executive director, Ellis Mitchell, the Housing Authority has been working to change the language in residents' leases. Mitchell says the process was started before the tragic shooting on June 22nd when a Bradenton child accidentally shot and killed his brother. The new leases will allow residents the right to bear arms. However, it will also revise the vetting process for residents. The changes still need to be approved by the Housing Authority's attorney and commissioners before it goes into effect.
A well-known Orlando attorney is following through on threats to sue the state over the lawmakers' decision to ban smoking medical marijuana. John Morgan has repeatedly threatened to launch a legal challenge over the smoking issue, which he maintains was permitted in the amendment supported by more than 71% of Florida voters last fall. Even so, lawmakers banned smoking of marijuana but allowed patients to vaporize or vape pot products in a measure approved during a special session last month. Governor Rick Scott signed the bill, which went into effect last week.
And when they were voting on it, the vast majority, if not 100%, knew that smoke was included. So the fact that we're here today is really unnecessary, but here we go.
Lawmakers who supported the ban argue that smoking marijuana is not healthy. Morgan is now taking his cause to social media, where he's using the hashtag #NoSmokeIsAJoke.
It's one of many things patients and medical marijuana advocates say are not covered under the new law. ABC 7's Kate Flexter is joining us with a look at this new piece of legislation. Kate.
Well, thanks, Haley. For months, state legislators debated how to implement the law, leaving local governments and law enforcement agencies in limbo. After a special session, lawmakers came to an agreement, but there are still a few major sticking points for advocates of the drug. As you just heard, the law bans smoking, Plus, since marijuana is still considered an illegal substance on the federal level, cardholders can be fired for a failed drug test. It's all part of the learning curve for this new law.
It's okay for somebody with Oxycontin or Xanax to go to work on their lunch break and go pop a couple pills, but if I was to come home and self-medicate that night and go to work and have a surprise drug test the next morning, I would lose my job.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, we take a look at the new law and what some patients say still needs to be done. Back to you guys.
All right, Kate, thank you. A follow-up now in a popular restaurant in Siesta Village that was severely damaged when a truck plowed through the front of it. The Lobster Pod restaurant reopened today. The owners called an emergency crew after the July 4th crash to do some very quick repairs. A man plowed into the front of the building, but fortunately no one was hurt. The owners say there's still limited seating, but the menu is not limited.
That was kind of surprising when it happened. We're more surprised that nobody got hurt, being that it was 4th of July day in a busy beach area. So I'm just happy nobody got hurt.
Investigators believe the driver of that pickup truck had a medical issue before he crashed.
And now for a check on our forecast, which is definitely a hot one. But like Bob, as you mentioned, this is only the beginning. We can't complain now.
Right. August is usually the hottest month. It takes a while for things really to heat up across the globe in the northern hemisphere as a result of again, the sun direct angle over us right now, but there's usually a little lag time before that real heat moves in. You can see, though, big storm. This is incredible, the amount of lightning that's occurring now into Charlotte County associated with that cell right near Punta Gorda and Port Charlotte. This activity rather intense as they both met the west coast and the southeast wind flow, and just the strikes in the last 15 minutes have been over 500 strikes just in the last 15 minutes with that particular area that I just outlined there. It's all kind of moving off toward Northport. Not much in Manatee County or in Lakewood Ranch and Sarasota, and it looks like, again, things are going to stay relatively quiet, but there's one cell already popping up now near Arcadia, so we'll keep about a 30% chance for some scattered activity in through this evening in the mix. We'll have more in the forecast, and take a look at the tropics coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. United Airlines is making headlines once again, this time apologizing to a mother from Hawaii for mistakenly giving away her toddler seat, which she had purchased for nearly $1,000. That meant the child had to sit on his mother's lap for a trip that lasted more than 3 hours. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has the details on this mix-up.
The toddler seen in these pictures lying on his mother's lap, at times even standing between her legs, is Shirley Yamauchi's 27-month-old son, Taizo, forced to finish the second leg of their long trip from Hawaii to Boston without a seat, even though Yamauchi paid nearly $1,000 for each ticket.
It was totally unfair and it was completely unsafe.
Yamauchi says she got on her United flight without a problem after both tickets were scanned. Then all of a sudden, a passenger who was on a standby list arrived with a ticket for her son's seat.
The flight attendant, when I let her know that these were my seats, and she came back and told me that the flight's full, and she shrugged, and that was the end of it.
She says she didn't want to cause a scene like this one in April when United made the news dragging a doctor off his flight to give his seat to another passenger.
I didn't want him hurt, especially.
In this case, United tells ABC News, we inaccurately scanned the boarding pass of Ms. Yamauchi's son. As a result, her son's seat appeared to be not checked in, and we released his seat to another customer. We are also working with our employees to prevent this from happening again. United also apologized to Yamauchi and gave her a refund for her son's ticket. But as far as she's concerned, she says all she's hoping for is that United makes sure this doesn't happen again. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
A hot car market on the Suncoast is leading to an increase in a certain scam. Some people who bought a new or used car nearly a year ago are now receiving notices in the mail with words like urgent notice or final notice. Experts say it's actually a third party trying to trick you into buying an extended warranty. They buy registration info from the Department of Motor Vehicles and know when to target car buying anniversary dates. The warranty would be real, but it would involve inferior parts.
When the service advisor calls for prior authorization, they will try to encourage them to use either a used part, an LKQ, which is something from a salvage yard, something from Napa or one of these auto parts stores such as AutoZone, and not necessarily OEM equipment. So if you choose to actually use original equipment made for your vehicle, you could have to pay the difference.
Godfrey says it's best to contact the place where you bought your car directly to check on the status of any warranties. And by the way, he says on average about 6 or 7 in 10 buyers will buy extended warranties when they get their cars.
Some popular energy bars are being recalled because they may contain nuts. The FDA says Cliff Bar is recalling 3 of its products after it got complaints of allergic reactions to tree nuts and peanuts. So far, there have been no confirmed illnesses, though, associated with the recall. The bars being recalled are Builder's Bar Chocolate Mint Flavor, Cliff Kid Z-Bar Protein Chocolate Mint, and Cliff Kid Z-Bar Protein Chocolate Chip. You can get a full refund by returning these items.
They need shorter names, don't they?
Yeah, majorly.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, a friendship between 2 neighbors leads to an idea for a new app. How that app may help those with disabilities connect with other people.
Plus, summer fun isn't just for kids. The new camp option for Suncoast grown-ups. That's straight ahead.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Explore amazing merchants on the Suncoast. Find great prices, products, and services. Go to mysuncoast.com to buy local today.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Some people who have chronic back pain need to get surgery. That's a serious step that requires a significant recovery time. But there are some cases where back pain can be relieved with non-surgical treatments. Kim Hutcherson takes a look at those options.
Back pain is categorized as chronic when it lasts 3 months or longer. And while surgery may be necessary in some cases, doctors at Johns Hopkins say there are alternatives. Physical therapy can help with back pain. Patients learn better posture, gain flexibility, and core strength, all of which helps their condition improve. Yoga and meditation can help fight the emotional turmoil that comes from coping with chronic back pain. Mindfulness exercises can train your mind to not focus on the physical discomfort. Changes in your diet and other lifestyle modifications may also help relieve back pain. Other non-surgical options include massage and acupuncture, nerve ablations where nerves are destroyed to ease pain, and anti-inflammatory medications or muscle relaxants might help. Also, give up the smokes. Johns Hopkins says nicotine has been known to make pain worse and slow down the healing process. These tips may help you avoid surgery and the long recovery process. Remember to discuss any course of action with your doctor. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
And now let's head over to Bob and take a look at this warm forecast.
Yeah, warm forecast. You know, we talked about it yesterday and last night, Haley. We showed some photos at 11 o'clock. Everyone was up at that hour, but boy, a lot of pictures came in. Just a tremendous looking sky there with the colors showing up pink right before the sun set. And this is at Sarasota Bay Club near 10th Street in downtown Sarasota. James White is sending that one in. And this is Turtle Beach. Sydney always sending some great photos in. Spectacular with the clouds around. It's always better with a little bit of cloudiness around. It adds to some great colors. And this one from Ryan Shea at Siesta and Longboat Key. Carol. That's not pointing, but nonetheless, Carol Ecker is sending that one in from Longboat Key. Casey Key webcam showing generally calm conditions out there over the waters today. Things are starting to change, though, in Boca Grande as some big storms are firing up down there. Get a look at this. A tremendous amount of lightning occurring. This is typical of a summer storm, but we're not seeing much over Sarasota right now or into Manatee County, and that's a result of some drier air that's in place, but once in a while a storm kind of comes together. And you can see these two fronts coming together right here, and if you extend that all the way down, you're starting to see some of that convergence take place near Northport, and this will spread northward throughout the next couple of hours, and eventually this all tracks off to the west. So we'll keep a chance for rain in the mix across Sarasota. Now this is tropical depression number 4. Nothing to worry about, and it looks like it's going to have a tough time going to become a tropical storm over the upcoming days. We have this very big wind shear out ahead of it. On top of that, this is dry air and getting entrained into the system, so no deep convection developing with it at this point. And that dry air is right over Florida too, so that's shutting down the storms across Jacksonville, Gainesville, down to Orlando for the most part. A lot of moisture, though, just to the south of it, and that's what we're going to see kind of come back into the weather picture beginning tomorrow. Heat index at 97. It's actually 90 at the airport. Winds are out of the west at 12, and the pressure 30.09 inches. The high today and low pretty close to average at 91 for a high, and the average was 75, and the low this morning was 75 for a low. No rainfall. The report yesterday we saw 93/100ths of an inch of rainfall, doing pretty well for the month and for the year so far. Temperatures are not reflecting the cooler weather that's normally around when storms are here, so upper 80s to low 90s, that's what we're seeing. A little bit of a sea breeze near the coast, keeping things just a little bit milder, but the water temperature at 90, it's not really bringing much relief to beachgoers in terms of cooler temperatures. The futurecast is calling for showers to break out through this evening along that little front, and then they'll move off to the west by 9 o'clock. Most of it should be gone, and it doesn't appear that we'll see much overnight at all. And then tomorrow morning, a chance for a few coastal showers as the sea breeze develops and moves inland, and the rain chance is not all that high, so things are looking good for Music on Main at Lakewood Ranch. Things looking pretty good for that for tomorrow, and it looks to be a little wetter weekend ahead as we'll see more moisture returning and a better chance for those showers and storms to be scattered about across the Suncoast, both on Saturday and Sunday. Well, the tropical update, it was looking rather impressive yesterday, but then today the dry air has kind of knocked it down. Still the rotation is there. It's expected to push off toward the west-northwest in time, and some of the remnants from this system may eventually have an impact on us, but that wouldn't happen until midweek next week. A couple of models are suggesting some of that moisture moving right on in to Florida. And then long range, we don't really pay attention to long range, but there's one forecast model, the GFS, suggesting that we'll have to keep an eye on it. There could be a hurricane in the eastern Caribbean in 10 days from now. For boaters tomorrow, southeast winds turn to the west at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be 2 feet or less with a light chop out there on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature 90 degrees. The tides, again, the next tide coming up just after 7:20. Well, there's the forecast. Not much of a chance tomorrow. Better over the weekend. Continues through Thursday of next week. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. Traffic is backed up on US 41. This is in the northbound lanes. As you can see, the red there. This is near Fruitville Road in Sarasota.
A new app seeks to help people with mental disabilities connect with others. For some with autism or other disabilities, it can be tough to make friends. Listen to one California mother who has a 22-year-old son with autism explain how difficult it was when he was growing up.
I just want to put a great big banner over my house and say, you know, needed friends.
Well, now that man's neighbor is doing something about this friend problem. He's created an app called Friendy. It's designed to help those with conditions such as autism and Down syndrome find friendship. It's also set up for parents to be involved in the process as well. Friendy is currently in limited testing.
Fantastic. So why should kids have all the fun? For the first time, Sarasota County is launching a summer camp for adults. It is called Camp All Grown Up, and it is aimed strictly at adults. So if you've ever wanted to learn a new hobby or maybe a sport, a new activity, this is your chance. The new camp offers the chance to kayak, play pickleball, pair wine with dinner, catch a shark from the Venice Pier, another interesting option. The camps are for adults 50 years and older and will be running through August. For more information, you can contact the County Parks, Recreation, and Natural Resources Department.
I think a lot of folks are going to say it's about time, you know?
Yeah, because there's a lot of, we've said before when we have run some of these stories about the kids' camps, like we wish we could go to some of these camps. So here's your opportunity.
There you go.
Looks fun.
Entertainment news is next.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC7.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Watch ABC7 wherever you are. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC7, we're here for you wherever you are.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
One of the main actors of Hawaii Five-0 is leaving the show over a contract dispute.
Daniel Day Kim says he was unable to agree on a contract terms with CBS, so he made the difficult choice to leave the series. In a Facebook post, Kim says, quote, "The path to equality is rarely easy." Kim played Chin Ho Kelly on the rebooted crime drama that will start its 8th year next season. Kim is now looking at other acting projects and is producing ABC's upcoming series called The Good Doctor.
Lauren Conrad is a new mom. The former MTV reality star writes on her website that Liam James Tell was born yesterday, weighing in at 6 pounds, 14 ounces. This is the first child for Conrad and her husband, William Tell. The 31-year-old Conrad married the lawyer and musician in 2014. Conrad got her start as on MTV's Laguna Beach before getting her own reality show, The Hills, which ran from 2006 to 2010. Sad to say I watched both of those. She now runs a lifestyle and fashion website and clothing lines.
Who knows, we'll have a new reality star from this show, Siesta Key.
Right. This is how you springboard into an actual career, reality TV.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that is, yeah.
We'll be right back.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.